The following presentation contains graphic and disturbing details which may offend some viewers. Discretion is strongly advised. When Pekka Kaimo stepped out of a house on Clements Kapua Street in her rural location on a particular Sunday morning, her words to her 9-year-old daughter, Cheryl Ujaha, affectionately known as Avihe, were, "I'll be back soon." 2 days later, the dismembered and mutilated body of Avihe would be found by a passerby dumped in the bushes near a dry riverbed about 2 kilometers from her home. But how did this talkative, smart, and confident 9-year-old girl with a head full of dreams fall victim to a crime so heinous it left Namibians reeling with shock? And more importantly, who would be so heartless to commit such a crime? Avihe, which in Oshiherero means everything, was born in London on 28 January 2009 to parents Pekakarua Sylvia Kaimo, better known as Pekka, and Isaac Ujaha. Avihe has an older sister from her mother's side and a younger sister from her father's side. When she mysteriously disappeared in 2018, Avihe was a grade 3 learner at Gamam's primary school in Kommersdal, where her aunt, Batseba Kaimo, was the school principal. It is reported that at around 11 a.m., Pekka, who makes a living cooking and selling food, left Avihe in the care of her 19-year-old cousin, Tito Kahevita, to deliver orders to her customers in her rural location. At the time, Avihe was busy putting on her favorite striped jumpsuit to go play with her neighborhood friends. At around 1:30 p.m., her aunt Batseba reportedly called the house while on her way from church to inquire if Pekka had prepared Sunday food for her to collect. Avihe reportedly answered the phone, but told her aunt that her mother was not at home and that she had not left any food to be picked up. After the phone call, Avihe informed Tito, who was taking a shower at the time, that she was stepping out of the house to go play with her friends. After leaving the house, Avihe reportedly went to a neighbor's house to look for one of her childhood friends, but was informed that the friend was not at home as she was visiting relatives. Avihe then briefly played with a young child at the same address, before leaving without word. That was the last time anyone would see her alive. When Pekka arrived home at around 4 p.m., she found her house locked and her neighbor gave her the house keys that Tito had left behind before going out. She reportedly took a nap, but by sunset, when Avihe had still not returned home, Pekka started making inquiries about her daughter's whereabouts. Pekka's first phone call at around 7 p.m. was to Batseba to ask if her sister had not taken Avihe with her to her house as she occasionally does. Batseba told Pekka that while she had spoken to Avihe earlier in the day on the phone, she had not seen her all day on that particular Sunday. When a search around the neighborhood did not yield any results, Pekka immediately went to the Katutura police station to report her daughter missing. However, she was told by the police to return the following day to allow a 24-hour lapse before a case can be registered and investigated. Unable to sleep all night knowing her last-born had not returned home, Pekka was back at the police station early and insisted that a missing person case be opened before the 24-hour waiting period. The police released an artist's rendition on the clothes that Avihe was last seen wearing, and news about her disappearance was circulated on social media. At around 7:30 a.m., a group of 5 people were walking in the dry riverbed near Stanfast between Katutura and Kommersdal when they spotted what looked like a burnt doll. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was a mutilated and dismembered human body and immediately alerted the police. The police at the time reported that some body parts, such as both hands, lower arms, 1 foot, ribs, intestines, 1 thigh, and the neck were missing. Initial reports also suggested that the body had been boiled.
What I would like to indicate is only that there are body parts that are still missing. They are not all of them there.
News of the gruesome discovery quickly spread in the community and reached the family of Avihe, who sent relatives to the crime scene at around 9 a.m. to find out if it was their own. Shortly after, the police contacted Avihe's family to go to the mortuary to make an identification as they believe the body parts belong to Avihe.
The commissioner approached the homestead, my family, my parents' house, and then they conveyed the message to the family. And we were still in shock. We wanted to make sure, as people were calling and wanted to know whether she is really gone, we said, let us just wait until we go and see with our own eyes, because seeing is believing. 1 hour ago, we were called and we went to the mortuary where we saw Avihe lying there, calmly dead.
In the days and weeks that followed the brutal murder, the country rallied behind the family, with political figures, Avihe's schoolmates, and the community marching in the thousands to demand justice for Avihe and other victims of gender-based violence. A reward of 100,000 Namibian dollars was also made available for any information that leads to the arrest of the persons behind the crime, with the reward currently standing at 110,000 Namibian dollars.
I appeal to anyone who may have any information which may lead to the identification, apprehension, and the prosecution of the suspect or suspects to come forth and conduct the Namibian police force. You can do it in confidence. Please come out. Bring the information. Let's stand together.
Avihe's father Isaac, with whom she was very close, also arrived in Namibia from the United Kingdom, where he holds citizenship, to bury his firstborn.
We spoke for about 45 minutes. After the conversation that I had with my daughter, I was like, oh, wow, that was a son and daughter. A father and daughter, talk. I'm lost. I'm lost. I've lost a soul. If there's anyone out there, I'm begging this to the public, or anyone in the communities, anyone who might have seen someone around midnight, around whatever time, I think in that surrounding time, come forward, please.
On 5 September 2018, the Gamams Primary School held a memorial service for Avihe.
We will mourn the death of the beloved Cheryl. But one thing that is coming from the family of Cheryl, from the grandfather of Cheryl, we have decided to forgive the one who killed her. So in your heart, I don't want you to grow up with that pain and that bitterness and the fear, but I want you to be free.
On 8 September 2018, Avihe was laid to rest at the Pioneers Park Cemetery in Windoeok. Although it has been over 4 years since the horrific murder, the police remain clueless and without tangible leads on who could have committed the brutal act that stole from the Namibian nation and the world at large an innocent young life with so much promise. The police to date still maintain that whoever took Avihe knew her personally, as the young girl did not scream or make noise when she was taken.
Or somebody knew and decided not, because you have some people who witness things and then they say, no, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to go to the courts to be questions or whatever, and keep quiet. Maybe if their conscience can bother them and they will decide to come, they are free to do so. The police are doing whatever they can do. Any suspect they take in similar cases, they would obviously also, do some investigation on to rule that suspect out or to tie the suspect to that case. So they are working.